Welcome to day 74 of playing chess every day until I reach 1500 Elo. Currently we're at 1210 after a loss yesterday. And let's go ahead and just jump into a game here. Here we got white. We're up against someone who's almost the exact same rating. He's 1209. Okay, we're going to start with the London. I think he might be going for the King's Indian here. Oh, that's weird. Normally they do the knight first. I'm not sure how that changes it. I think I'm still going to go for the knight c3 move and then try to play e4. This is covered, so yeah, let's go for that. Okay, we're going to play e4 and take the center. Okay, so this guarded. Now we're back to the usual position. He just played it in a different move order. I'm going to play queen d2 here. Line these up. We would like to get rid of this bishop because it's what is going to protect his king kind of over here. We'll have some open dark squares around the king if we can trade that off. We had a game with this same setup a couple days ago, but then I think it got a little messy. I don't really know what to do after about where we are right now. I think one thing it did want was pushing last time was pushing the H pawn early to create an attack. So maybe we'll aim to do that here soon, depending on what he plays. We want to castle queenside, line up our rook and our queen here. Oh, interesting. He takes right away. Haven't seen that before. Wait, what is... What does that do? I take here. This is still guarded. I'm not sure that I get what he's going for. Okay, I'm gonna take. Yeah, weird. I'm not sure what that was. He just gave up the knight for a pawn. I'm probably just going to I can move the knight back to where it was, or I could just bring the bishop out, which probably makes more sense. And then we try to go for trades because we're up material. Only thing is, if I bring the bishop out, I do give up this. So, but I also will, after that, potentially have this attack, discovered attack here, and then take this, then he takes, and then he would have like triple pawns there, I think. So is it worth it to give a pawn back up and then triple his pawns? And get another trade? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's worth it. I'm only at +2, so I think I'd rather just move the knight back. Or maybe move it here. Okay, let's just move it here for now with tempo on the bishop. This is still covered. Although I definitely was pretty, I like the look of that idea of going here and then trying to do that tactic with check. It's a discovered attack on the bishop, and then we get the trade. He takes with the pawn. Actually, no, never mind, because he could take with the dark square bishop. For some reason, I thought he would take with the pawn. So he probably would take with the bishop, not double the pawns. And then we would take here, and we would still double his pawns up and weaken his king side quite a bit and get a trade. So it seems interesting, but I'd rather keep the +2 instead of go down to +1 in terms of material. Okay, queen moves. I mean, I think I'm happy to take that trade. The queen comes here. I do want to get castled quickly. This is almost a thing, but not quite. Hey, sorry, got a barking dog here. Sorry, calm down. That's okay. Yeah, that would be nice if I could play that. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take though. The bishop is still guarded, this is still guarded. If he takes this, and I take back with the queen, everything is still guarded, so... Okay, let's just take, we'll just try to trade. And then, I can't, oh, I could go here, actually. So I'll probably just go here, or get the knight out. Let's go here with tempo on the queen. Actually, the queen can go here. No, he can't, because it's covered, never mind. Okay, let's just go here. I don't want to lose this pawn. If the queen goes somewhere that creates another threat, then we're potentially going to lose the pawn to this bishop. But I don't think he can, because he can't go here, which is the only unguarded pawn, I believe. Actually, no, he can go. No, he can't go there. Could have gone here, maybe. Right, instead, he's going to just double attack that. I think I'm just going to protect it with a pawn here. Seems like the easiest thing to do. Oh wait, no, he is attacking this action. So maybe I will lose the pawn here in a moment. Not a huge deal. And I could get a trade after it. So here, or anything else. Really? But yeah, this is a double attack. Yeah. Give a check, but no, I can't because he can take that. So let's just bring the knight out and just take the trade here. Once he takes with the bishop. So I probably should have played that a little bit differently to protect the pawn. I'm not sure which move actually was better. But giving up my coverage of the queen on it did, I think, cause me to lose it here. But we're still going to be up +1. And we'll be able to trade a little bit closer to an endgame here. Unless he goes for something else. He is taking his time. He's not taking the pawn yet. He has check here, but if he does that, he'll probably just drop back like this. Or with the queen. Oh, he's not taking it. Was there a tactic after he takes or something where where he's not able to? Because I'm surprised he didn't just take. I take, he takes. Is there a discovered? Oh, there was a discovered attack, I think. No, because the queen, no, yeah, there is actually. Okay, I didn't see that at first, but I think he did. Because the queen would be here, and then once I bring the bishop out with check, the queen cannot block that check, so then I would win the queen. So I didn't see that tactic, but he saw it. I probably would have seen it after he played it. So he saved himself there. Unless I missed something, but yeah, I think that tactic does work. So instead he just adds another attacker, but I'm simply going to defend it with a pawn now. Seems like the easiest thing to do. Be hopefully castling here in a second. He castles. I will castle. So yeah, I have no clue why he gave up that knight earlier. Maybe it was a misclick or something. Or he thought there was some kind of tactic that wasn't there. Next move, probably just try to get the rook to the open file here. Okay, I'm just going... Actually, is this going to be a fork? Maybe I missed this. Take, because he has a lot of pieces guarding this square. He has one piece guarding this square. I have 1, 2, 3 attackers here. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders. can just go here first, though. And then if he pushes, I take, and then that's winning for me, I think. Should I take first? Then he'll take. Then I would go here. I don't know if taking first is better. Taking first connects these two, but I'm not sure if that matters that much. I think I'm just going to go here first. Does taking first allow for a discovered attack on the queen? Not quite. Oh wait, no, there is this. Take, here, with check. And then that does work. Okay, so I'm going to take first. He will be threatening. With these two doubled up, looking at my bishop, it will be threatening to win the bishop, but once I go here, the pawn is going to be blocking him from taking with the queen, so that will be a double attack, a discovered attack. So let's take first. I think it works. He might take with something else. Okay, he takes like that. So, do I have this right away? I mean, he can block with the queen, but then he still loses the queen. If he does anything else, I don't think it works for him. Let's go. He takes here. Oh wait, no, never mind, because the queen is just protected now because the rook is looking. Okay, yeah, I think I shouldn't have done that. I'm kind of tired right now, so I think I'm not seeing stuff. Don't want to give up my advantage here, but I might have messed up because now he has the two attackers here. If I go here, he can take and trade queens. Is there any follow-up to that? And take this at the end. If I just take this now, he takes, we trade, but then I take the bishop at the end maybe. Take like this. This still has 3 defenders, so. Yeah, I think I messed up. Because if I go here, he takes, I take. Does that work actually? Because then if he takes, I can still take back with a knight. Okay, maybe that's my best option. I don't want to overthink it too much. I don't know if I have a better option than that. Let's try it. If he goes for the fork, then I just take here. But yeah, I'm thinking I should have played this, attacking the rook, prior to trading the pawns off. Which my initial instinct was actually correct, which was that allowing him to connect the queen and the rook could be a problem, like if I take first. But I didn't see why immediately. But that was my first thought. Okay, he just blocks it. In that case, I can go. What can I do? I could still go here, and this will hang. I could go here. I go here. He gives the fork. Yeah, I don't think that works. I think I lose a piece either way, right? I don't see a way out of it. I don't know. I could definitely be missing something. Maybe there is a way out of it. I think I'll just take the pawn. Take. But then he still has the fork. Or no, because I can hop back to here and double defend this. No, but then the bishop is still pinned, so he could push the pawn. Actually, I can't figure out what to do. I'm almost thinking I should just go here. He takes, trade this, and then hop the bishop away. So I just lose this light square bishop. Because I'm going to lose something, and I don't want to be stuck in this pin and lose 2 pieces eventually. And okay, I'm just going to try this here, trade, and then bishop can go somewhere, go back somewhere. And then we don't risk losing a second piece, I don't think. Just try. I might be playing really bad right now. I don't feel like I'm playing very well. I kind of got an advantage for free, but I think I'm gonna be giving it up here. Okay, takes. Let's take our trade. Let's free our bishop. Probably it's here. If I go here, he can push here, and then when the knight moves, the bishop loses its defender, so actually that would not be good. Where else should I go? Probably just here then. Here, here. Actually, then the bishop doesn't really have anywhere to go. So do I need to go here? I might need to go here. Because once he goes here, my bishop runs out. There's no squares here. If I can't go here. I mean, I could go back to here, but then I cut off my rooks, which is really unappealing. So I think I need to just go down this way. Now he's up +1, so we lost our free advantage there, unfortunately. Because we miscalculated all the tactics in that little exchange. Okay, so then pawn still pushes. The knight is going to need to go here. I lose a pawn, I think. So I think we just have to go back to here. He's able to bring his rook into here if he wants. Can push this pawn to protect it. Maybe here. This one's still guarded. But yeah, it'll be looking pretty bad. I think he's going to have a good advantage here. +1 on the material. Okay, instead he doubles up. Can move my rook again, or my knight again. At least his bishop is inactive for now. If I go here, he can come here. Knight can, no, it still can't go there. Knight can go here, but then he wins a pawn. I think I need to protect this pawn first so that I don't get in trouble there. But I don't want to lose this one either. I can't lose another pawn or I'll be in a lot of trouble. But he has quite a bit of pressure on me here. Maybe I'll move here actually to just defend this pawn this way. Be able to move the knight after. This pawn is guarded. Okay. I'm just going to do that. I just gotta play something quickly. I'm gonna try to come up with some counter attacks though, because I can't just play defensively. If I can reactivate the knight and connect the rooks, it'll be looking a little bit better. Okay, that's not. I don't think that's super worrisome. I mean, we will be trading down material, but the knight's not pinned. I can move the knight. I can trade the rooks. I mean, it will be a slightly losing endgame for me, but it's not that worrisome. So I think I'm okay with this. Okay. Yeah, I think it's probably going to be best just to go ahead and move the knight. I potentially could try to push this first and then move the knight this way. Otherwise, I'm bringing it out here or here. Either way, he could take it with his knight and then we double our pawns. So if I go here, what if he pushes though? Yeah, if he pushes, I don't like that. That could be an issue. What if he goes here? Knight here, he goes up, knight up. Yeah, I can't defend that pawn. So actually I can't, I have to defend the pawn first, I think. Or should I push it here? And this becomes a target. I could push this one. And then when he goes here, no, because then the knight, this one's still under attack. It's like I have to push both of them actually. Both have to be forward because once the knight comes here and he plays this, and I can't prevent this move because the bishop can't look down here. And the knight can't go here. Maybe if I play here and he pushes, then I'll hop the knight here, but then I really have a lot to worry about with this. In fact, yeah, I think that's almost unplayable. Well, maybe not, because rook can move here, knight defends the rook. Take, knight's in front of the pawn. It still looks sketchy. I'm getting pretty low on time though, but yeah, this position is very difficult to get out of, I think. So I want to push here, and then push here maybe, but then still he can double attack those. There's no good way to defend these. Push here, just get all three of them like that, and then if he attacks one, I don't know, I don't see a good way to defend them all with moving the knight here. I think I have to play this. It seems like it to me, like I need to play this. Oh, he does take that. Okay, I thought he might push it. So I think this is a little better for me because now it frees my knight and we'll just trade the rook. And it's not the end of the world. If he tries to attack the pawns, now I can go up with the rook. And if he gives check, we just go back again. And if, you know, I would take a draw if he were to just repeat those moves because I'm in a losing position. So we're down a pawn, but I do like the fact that these pawns are doubled and his bishop is currently behind the pawn and not active. But yeah, I'm glad he took here. I think that will be a little bit better for my position. Because my knight was so crammed and it only had this square. Alright, he takes. It only had this square over here, and then once he came up, I was going to lose more pawns. Because the knight would have to move again. Actually, I guess I could have pushed this one, because once the knight moves to here, it can actually defend the pawn on a2. So maybe I didn't need to move both of them, maybe just one. Okay, he wants to trade everything. I'm definitely not doing this trade and undoubling pawns. I'll probably go here, attack this pawn, and maybe threaten to come into here, attack the bishop. If the bishop moves off this diagonal, we can win that. If he pushes this, I have to think about what to do in that scenario. Okay, let's just play. Let's just go here. And then let's try to reactivate our bishop because it's also very inactive. Pushes. Let's bring maybe the king up to attack. Can't attack with the bishop. I can go here right away. Oh, actually that's good because that forks the pawn too, which I actually It forks the pawn and the bishop here. Let's try that. I was already thinking of playing this, but I actually didn't realize that it also forks the pawn before he had already moved it. Now, I think we might be able to equalize the position here potentially. Because these are both unguarded. I guess he could go here. Oh no. Oh, instead he's threatening my bishop? Interesting. Threatening my bishop and protecting his pawn. Okay, I didn't consider that. I still am interested in just going with the trade. The only thing is... he has this... I mean, his pawns will stay doubled. Do I have a better move? Drop the bishop back. If I drop the bishop back, I'm still threatening this bishop. And then I'm maybe threatening to go here. Calculate for just a sec without hopefully getting too low on time. Take, take. I don't have a... oh wait, you know, then I have this to fork both these pawns. He can't take this pawn. But I think it is good, actually. Let's just play it without taking too much time. I think the fork is good enough to go for. Yeah, just calculating one move further will make a big difference. Oh, let me just... I could take it and then he comes here and then I take here. Or I could push. He maybe hops back. Here, he came up here. And there. If I push, will I be able to win the pawn once I come here? If I push, I might be able to win the pawn with my king after. And I can still win this. It's maybe a little bit risky, but... because we're giving him a passed pawn near our king here. Otherwise, I take, he takes. He's threatening this pawn, I take, and then he takes that pawn with check. So let's try pushing. Seems a little risky, but let's give it a try. We're like at about a minute on the clock, so we're still double attacking knight and pawn. The knight needs to go to one of these two squares. Oh wait, no, he can hop here because the pawn protects it, but it's not threatening anything once he goes there. And then once I go here, I'm threatening the pawn anyway. So yeah, he goes back there. I could threaten the pawn immediately. And he can't guard it now. I think I'll just take this one though, because then it's threatening another one first. And then I'll try to threaten this one. So let's take here. And try to play quickly. He has this check. Just go up though. Then I'm forking the knight and the pawn. Okay, now we come up. Is there anything better? Here to attack again, he pushes. I don't think so. Let's just go up. And I don't think he can defend this pawn, right? Because he can't go to either of these squares. So we'll actually go back to being up a pawn here. Okay, let's just take. And go here and attack. He pushes. Do I have anything after that? Go here, go here. Okay, let's just centralize the knight. That seems like a good idea. And then we want to focus on getting a pass pawn on this side, because these three are all equal. It's pushing there. If I go here, where does he go? He can't go here. He can go here. No, he can't go there. He can't go here. I think he has to go back. So let's just do that and just take up space. Or I could do it like this. Let's do it with the king. Activating the king is probably a bigger priority than pushing this pawn. Because once the king can take up more space on his side, it'll be easier to push the pawn anyway. Okay, now we can... Actually, I didn't realize you could just do that, but yeah, now let's go ahead and do this. Pick him away anyway. And if we can trade these two pawns off, then we have our nice pass pawn. And we can use that as a major threat of promotion. And then, oh, he goes back there. Yeah, I think I just want to trade this. He does have check. Okay, let's take... Should I take with check or take with the... Actually, taking with the king might be better. To kind of prepare for promotion. Guiding the pawn here. I take with check. He moves. Okay, let's take with the king. Get the king close to the promotion file here. We can force a trade of the knights. That would be really good. This is turning into a pretty interesting endgame. Okay, knight comes back. Still have to play pretty quickly. I can go here. Try to get the knight trade that way. If he doesn't take it, I could just start pushing. Maybe I'll just push first anyway. The thing is just watching out for any kind of fork. Actually, no, my knight is forced back. No, I can go here. Alright, knight goes here. Knight forks in a position like this can be sometimes tricky to see. We're playing a lot of different moves, and you know, pawns are moving around a lot, king's moving around a lot, so that's going to be the main potential threat. But if I just keep my pawn and my king really close together, should help quite a bit. And in fact, we might be able to force him to give up his knight here because his king walked away from this area, so the king will have a little more trouble defending it. Okay, probably just push. I have check, but what does the check do? The check forces him to maybe one of these two squares. I think let's just push first. Oh wait, no, he can take and win the pawn. Crap, actually I just blundered a tactic, because if he takes, I take, then he takes the knight. And then we're in a drawing position, yeah. Should have seen that earlier. Unless I have... Okay, I have check, but then he comes closer anyway. Because he can always move one square closer. Oh wait, no, I have check here though. And then that... I think that saves me, right? Because now it's protected by the king. So I think I did not blunder the tactic. And now we're totally winning. What's going to be the best way to protect this? This is protected. I can't let him take all the pawns. I have to save a pawn. Here. Here. Because I can't checkmate with a knight. I go here. He has to come here to take. I can go here and then... I'm not sure what to do, actually. I can't let the pawns all be traded off. I have to play something right away. I'm just going to try this. And then... going to try... Actually, yeah, this is difficult. I'm going to try here. He takes that one. We push this one to here. Okay, this one's guarded. That's the main thing that we need. Now I have to activate my king. He's able to take this one here. I think I'm not going to win, actually, because it's... Can't really protect this. My king being too far away is actually a major problem. Come here. Still guarded. The king can protect the pawn now. That should help quite a bit. We have to keep the pawn alive and still be able to take his pawns out. He's gonna have this fork if I move my king too far. It almost feels like it's a better position for him because of the 3 pawns. So I have to keep my 1 pawn alive. If he can get my pawn to be traded off, then I have no chance of actually getting a checkmate. And I don't know how to do that. Maybe go up? No. Up here. Let's bring the knight back and try to attack over here. Yeah, I thought this was going to be totally winning, but it's not. I think it's a drawn position, but I still have to play correctly. Here. Okay, let's just go here for a sec, because I don't know what to play and I have no time. Okay. Go back. Okay, now the king is actually kind of cut out, which is good, because the knight and the pawn are blocking these squares. He has to play something. If he plays here, I get the passed pawn. Okay, now he moves over there. King's blocked out. Let's go here. And try to keep the pawn and the knight together. Okay, now he's able to push that. Yeah, so actually that's quite a problem. Let's go... What happens if I go, like, check? Go over... No, there's no way to... I don't think there's any way to make that work. If we just go here, take, and then I have to just stop his pawns. And then go for a draw. Oh, okay, he doesn't go for that, he goes for pushing. I think that might have been a mistake by him. Now I can come here. He can't come in yet. He can't come in at all. And if I take here and he pushes, I can still come back with the knight. I think he should have traded it and like gone for the draw. I mean, it might still be hard to win it, but it gave me a better chance, I believe. Because I'm going to be able to get this pawn. I think the fact that he allowed me to block his king off with all these squares as well made it quite a bit harder for him to do anything. I mean, I think my next move is going to be taking this no matter what. Let's just play that quickly. If he pushes, I'll probably just come here right away. He's still keeping his king cut out. Okay, instead we're going to come in. And now he's in Zugzwang, right? He can't protect the pawn. Oh no, because he can push that pawn. But once I go here, then he's in Zugzwang. And I can take this pawn next. Because he can't go here, he can't go here. These are the only squares he can protect the pawn. So he has to go back somewhere, and then I can take. And the knight's still guarding this pawn, so I can come back, leave the knight, take his next pawn, and then, yeah, I think he blundered. I think we were drawing. Hit. And we have our knight to assist us. Because if it were just king and pawn, this would be losing. Or not losing, but drawn. Okay. He doesn't even make us play it out. He just resigns. That was a pretty cool game. I really liked that endgame. I'm really curious to see the game review, where we went wrong. Also, those tactics in the middle game, I really like. My brain was kind of flustered, and I blundered some tactics in the middle game. So I want to see what I should have done there. So it says I actually have 2 blunders. So yeah, that makes sense. He had 1 blunder, but I had better accuracy. I had 82.1, he had 79.8, and I had 2 misses as well. So I'm curious if I had some tactics in that middle game area where I just like was kind of not able to figure out what was going on. Maybe there were tactics that I missed or something like that. So let's go ahead and go through the moves and see what happened. He played a different move order. It actually doesn't like this with this move order. So I wonder why. I wonder what the difference is, because to me it seemed kind of the same. I mean, it still liked it, but it said that it preferred a different move, which was e3, I think it said. Okay, there's his blunder. It was very strange. I don't know if he thought there was a tactic there. I think he just didn't realize that this knight was here. I think that's all it was. I think he didn't see the knight and thought he could just take the pawn. Okay, we're all good here. We get the trade. I was feeling pretty good here. And it wasn't until a little bit later here. Okay, so I did play the best moves here. I thought I messed up because I thought he was going to win the pawn. But I didn't realize, which he did realize, that there was a discovered attack if he took the pawn. Which was... And I only calculated it after he didn't play the move. And it's right here when he played the knight. I thought he was going to go here. But then if I take and he takes, then I go here. And then he loses the queen. So that's why he didn't do it. And I didn't realize until he didn't play the move that that tactic existed. But he saw it. He brought the knight out instead to add a third attacker, but then we had time to protect it with our pawn. It actually preferred to just try to kick the queen, though, by playing c4 right away. Yeah, I didn't consider that at all. Then it wants him to go here and get the trade. Well, that's good for me. Or how many of his... Are all his squares cut off? Is that why? This isn't cut off. So he didn't have to go for the trade. He could have gone here or here. But it wants him to go for it. What happens if he plays this? Okay, that says excellent. What about this? Check, that's best. So why does it say this then? Oops, wrong one. Why does it say this? Okay, they all say excellent. Seems like a bad idea to trade the queens off down a knight, basically. And then here's where I got worried that he had a tactic. But no, it says I was totally winning. This is where I blundered. Oh yeah, this was a bad one. So yeah, I thought he had a tactic, and I kind of was overthinking it, and my brain was kind of scrambled. I wasn't seeing this as clearly as I should have. My initial instinct was that the rook and the queen will be connected if I take, and that could be a threat. For some reason, I wasn't paying attention to the fact that it is a threat to the bishop right away, winning the bishop. So I took, I thought take, and then I go here or something. What did it want me to play here then? What if I just played this right away? That says excellent. He comes back. Then I go here. But isn't he still threatening the fork? right? Because he can push this and the queen is guarding it. So is there a reason? Am I missing something in terms of why he can't play the fork? It says good. Oh, because I have this move? He goes here. Okay, this gets a little bit complicated now. Then I push this. Yeah, this. I did not see any of this. This is pretty hard to see, I think. Like these multiple pawn moves just to get out of the fork. And then figuring out where the queen's going to go, where this knight is going to go. Knight goes here, and I guess then we... Oh, then we threaten the queen again. Okay, yeah, this is kind of a crazy tactic. So the engine thinks it was totally fine, but for me, I would have been panicking here, and I don't think I would have found the right move. I think I would have just taken here. So that's what I was trying to avoid. I was trying to avoid that fork. That was the whole point of playing, like taking and then trying to bring the bishop out. Okay, so let's go back to what we played here. Yeah, I took instead. I took first. This was a blunder. I still am winning. It says I have a +1 advantage, 1.15. That was best. Okay, this was a blunder. This was my second blunder. But I was already going to lose the bishop, right? Because he's double attacking this bishop, and he's attacking this bishop. So how can I save them both? It says when I play this, it says I gave up a bishop, but I was already going to lose one either way, I thought. So what did it want? It wanted bishop back here. But then I also would lose a knight. Because then if he takes... Oh, the bishop takes back. Oh, I didn't see that the bishop it's double defended. Oh, okay, so that's where I went wrong. I just completely failed to see that the queen was twice defended, so I was safe to actually move this bishop out of the way, because the other bishop is still guarding it. Push. So if I come back, why? Yeah, no, that doesn't work. Can't just drop back. So I have to allow the bishop that's under threat of the pawn to guard the queen, which just doesn't seem like it works, as you think this bishop is like dead. But then after he takes it, it was guarding, and then it's my turn, so then I can just take anyway. So we were actually doing okay. We still had that first blunder, but it says we're still up 1 on the eval. And we can go here. But no, I made those 2 blunders. We definitely messed up this whole sequence quite a bit. And then what do we get? We ended up in the same material count. So he was up +1 after this either way. So the first blunder led to him being up +1 regardless. But in this scenario, there was way more pressure on me. On my position. And in fact, it says it wants me to move the knight here first, which also gives up a pawn. So it wants me to just give up another pawn there. Now he has a -3 advantage. So his position is quite a bit better. And we somehow were able to recover from this, though. Yeah, I was really happy when he just started trading this, because he kind of relieved a lot of the pressure in the position by trading. And then by taking, he really relieved pressure here. What if he pushed? Because this is what I thought. Okay, it says that was good. He gets the passed pawn. And here's what I was thinking if he pushed, because I thought this was his best move, to push. I was thinking that... Well, what does it want him to play? It wants me to push this pawn. That's not what I was thinking. I was thinking of going here, right? Here, here... Actually, what was I? I can't remember what I was thinking exactly. Here to attack the pawn. The rook can come up, but then I just take the pawn. What happens if I go here? He pushes, but then I go here. Obviously, I don't take this because then he promotes. But if I go here, yeah, this is what I was looking at. And then I figured if he takes, then I can take back with the knight or the bishop. And then we also should be able to win this pawn here. I come up. Can he defend it? No, he can't. He can attack the bishop. Go there. Take. And yeah, he doesn't have a way to defend it. So after this, I'm going to win this pawn back, and now we're in a drawn position, which is much better than it was right before that. So this is kind of what I was looking for, but instead he actually took, which is exactly what helped me quite a bit. So yeah, then it looks like after he took, we're basically back to drawing again. I take, we get the trade. Of course, I avoid that trade that would have helped his pawns a lot and given him that nice pass pawn that's connected. Okay, we go here, we fork these two. He came up with this interesting idea to attack my bishop. And then we did some calculation here, and we realized that if I take, he takes, my next move can fork both the pawns. So that worked out quite nicely. And I almost didn't do that, but then I looked just one move further. I think it's really important to always just be able to think one move further when you think the sequence is done. So I've been trying to work on doing that. It can be hard sometimes though, but yeah, in this case it worked out pretty well. And now we're actually winning by a little bit. And this was a mistake. It was best to push. If I took, that definitely seemed worse. Yeah, that would be a miss. Because then he goes here, and then if I take, he takes with check. Oh, I know, it says that's a blunder actually. Ooh, because that traps his knight. Yeah, I did not calculate that. I saw he could take and win the pawn. I did not realize that. Typically, a knight would not be trapped by a king alone, but because this knight covers his other escape square, he is trapped. So yeah, I did not see that. That's kind of cool that we had that potential tactic if he went for that. But pushing the pawn was still best. We kicked the knight. I want him to go back to this square instead, and then we're able to take. And now we have a nice advantage. It said +3, but it wanted me to attack this pawn first before taking. So it went down to +2. Okay, now it's right back to +3 again. So we're both playing some inaccuracies, and it's just bouncing around a little bit here. But we took that pawn, and then there was no way, which we were kind of calculating in advance, that we would be able to win this pawn after. There's no way for him to defend it. And that worked out perfectly, because now we have a good position here. So I'm totally winning, but now I have to see where I went wrong, because we went back to drawing, I want to say drawing. Okay, here was interesting. It wanted me to take with the check here, but I thought it was going to kind of just allow him to continue walking over here. I go for another check after that, it seems like. It wants him to go back over this way, actually. Push this. Here, push again. I mean, okay, either way, we have almost a 4 advantage on the eval, so we have a pretty good position. So I want to see where I messed up. So taking with the king, it didn't like as much. Oh yeah, I messed up with that. That's what it was. It was the tactic where I lost the pawn, which comes up here very soon, I think. Yeah, this was it, right? Oh, he missed it the first time. So that was my miss, actually. It brought us right back to a draw, 0 on the eval. So he missed that tactic. I didn't realize I gave it away twice. Missed it, I pushed, and then he found it here after I pushed. And I saw it after I played this move that he had it. He can take the pawn. Oh wait, no, I forgot that I had the check where I got out of that. And then I won his knight. I won the knight. He won the pawn. So now I'm up +3. But it doesn't matter. The engine actually, like, I thought that was such a winning position. So I was really happy when I found that I can escape the tactic and then take his knight with this check. But the engine actually just says this is a draw because his king is so much closer to my pawns that I had no way to protect them when my knight and my king are way over here. And so I was kind of realizing that around this moment, thinking I don't know if I can protect these pawns. No matter what, he's going to be able to trade them off. And if my pawns disappear, then I have no way of checkmating because I can't checkmate with just a knight and a king. So at least I got this one safe, though. That was my main focus. And not only is it drawn, actually, but he's winning here. So this position that I thought was very winning is actually winning for him. Which I was kind of realizing around. I think I even said that at this moment. I said, like, this actually looks like it might be better for him with the 3 pawns versus my knight. But he luckily makes a big mistake here a little bit further. We shuffle around a little bit. I was trying to keep his king away. And then I think here, it didn't say that move was a mistake. It says we're totally drawn right now. But we did keep his king away. Now, his big mistake, I think, was when he didn't take my pawn. Let's see, though. Alright, I wanted the knight out. Here, I come back over, that was best. And then, yep, he should have taken the pawn. That was his mistake, and it immediately gave me a plus 6.4 advantage. So in games can be really brutal. If you play one small, what seems like a small inaccuracy in an end game like this, it can completely change the eval bar. It went from 0 to plus 6.5 just from pushing this pawn. Um, but he definitely should have taken. I think he wanted to play for the win instead of play for the draw. He should have just played for the draw. And then at this point, I realized that I think I have actually winning chances because his king is cut off and I can come in and take this pawn. And I think we found all the right moves here. Let's see. I mean, basically it's saying excellent for them. We win the next pawn. His king still is way too far away and couldn't get over. And we win the last pawn. And then if the knight weren't here, then this would be drawn because we don't have a way to get far enough in front of the pawn. So he's always going to be able to maintain opposition against our king. But because we have the knight, it gives us, one, the ability to like cover these squares, and also the ability to just make extra moves that then allow us to take opposition. So it was going to be totally winning with the knight, and he resigned. That was a really interesting endgame, and now we're actually up to a new high of 1218 because the loss we took yesterday was against a 1300, so I didn't lose that many points. So I think I gained a little bit of extra rating from this one compared to yesterday. Um, so we have a new high. This has been day 74, I think, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on day 75.